Hey folks, we are here today at Hankster's Hot Rods in Homer City, PA to go over with you yet another new addition to our inventory. This is a 1987 Pontiac Trans Am GTA. I'll give you just kind of the overall of it here before we start our walk around. So of course you see here done in this nice burgundy color with the gold accents on it. As far as the motor, the driveline as such, we've got a period correct 305 tune port injected motor on this car. We've got the 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission, as well as the GM 10-bolt rear 276 gear, and it does in fact have the POSI unit in it. It also has factory air conditioning on this car. It is a T-top car as well. Power steering, power brakes, disc up front, drums on the rear. So that's kind of your overview of the car there. So now we'll go ahead and start our walk around. I'll try to point out everything that I can here, let you know exactly what it is we're looking at and some of the conditions of everything, and we'll just go from there. So like I said, burgundy in color. It does have the factory hood here, which has all of your vents and so forth in it. As far as your fenders, you'll also notice it's got the vents in the fenders as well. Of course, we have our GTA Trans Am badging here on the front fenders, which looks really nice. It's the burgundy color, same as the body color, but it does have the gold kind of outline on it just to kind of help offset things. Of course, as you can see, it does have the factory, the GTA wheels that these would have came with. These are the gold basket weave design, 16-inch wheels with the polished lips, and of course you've got the correct center caps on those. And then as far as the tires go on these, all four tires are going to be all the same, both brand, tread pattern, and size. These are Falcon ZX tires, and they are 245/50 16s on all four corners. As we come back a little bit, really no need to go over like a lot of the, you know, like your gaps and elevations and so forth on this car. Everything fits very, very nicely on this particular vehicle, as you will be able to see as we walk around. Of course, you do have that lower cladding here on the body here, just kind of that extra, kind of that aero package that the Trans Ams came with, the GTAs. You do in fact have the dual mirrors here, both driver and passenger side. Body colored mirrors, the glass is in great shape on these, and in fact your driver's side is the remote mirror, so you can adjust that from inside the car. As far as the glass goes on the car, it is slightly tinted here. No chips, cracks, or scratches on the glass. It looks very good. You can see your T-tops here. They are tinted, and those are in very good shape, and they are all sealed up very well too, so shouldn't have any leaks or drips inside the car, and all of your seals and so forth, even on the exterior, all look good. Of course, on our door handle here, which by the way is done in the black here, you do in fact have the fuel injection, kind of the insert that goes on the door handle there, and again that looks good. Let's go ahead and open our door up and we'll take a look at the interior. So inside you're going to have the gray upholstery, kind of the gray color all throughout the interior of the car. It is cloth upholstery, but the seats are all in good shape. No rips or tears anywhere that I can see. Same thing with the carpeting. No rips or tears there. Of course, all of your dash, the center console and everything, that is all factory. Again, nothing's been changed there, with the exception of the radio. Now, it does look like somebody has replaced the factory radio with a Pioneer Super Tuner radio. So for the period of the car, that would have been a great radio to go in a car back then. Now the dash itself, it looks like it does have, or wait, no, that's just the way it's made. I was going to say it has a crack in it, but it doesn't. That's just the way that the dash is made on the 87 Trans Am GTA. As far as seat belts, It has all the seat belts. So you've got your front retractable belts, you've got your rear lap belts there too, and in fact those rear seats, the backs do fold down on them. As far as everything else, it's got the controls up on your steering wheel as far as your windshield wipers and all that stuff. You do have the tilt wheel there too, the tilt steering column, power windows, power brakes, and it does have factory air, as I mentioned from the get-go there. Now again, all of your weather stripping, all your seals and such, all the way up around here where your window would seal up, you can see everything is in very nice condition here. Even out here at our door weather stripping all the way around in very good condition, all intact here. There's no rips or tears anywhere. Even has the rubber bump stops. Of course, you got all your labels, all your stickers here on your door also that would have been on it, you know, from the factory there. Door panels are in great shape too. So we'll go ahead and close this and continue on around the car there. So again, you do have the bird emblem here, the Firebird emblem on your sail panel, and it is in great condition there. As I mentioned, the wheels and tires all look good all the way around. Got your gas fill door here, and then as far as the rear window goes, it's in great shape. There's no chips, cracks, or scratches here either. And then you do have the rear defrost in your window. I'm sorry about that, my watch is going off. You do in fact also with the GTA, the Trans Am, you have as part of the package, the aero package on it, you've got this rear hatch spoiler also. It's kind of I guess the plastic or the ABS style material there, but that's how they were from the factory there, so nothing special there. Tail lights, the lenses and so forth, again, they're kind of tinted, kind of smoked, but that's how they were from the factory. There's no chips, cracks anywhere within the lenses, and of course everything else is set inside of those. So again, as long as everything's good and sealed up here, you're all good on the inside there. So all of that looks good. The rear bumper, again, that's your plastic or urethane rear bumper, and then down below you've got your Magnaflow exhaust tips, and those are, I believe, like a 3.5-inch exhaust tip on the car. Just a good sounding exhaust for this particular car, and we'll take a closer look at that from the underside. Now let's go ahead, open up our trunk lid and take a look at the rear hatch section here and show you the condition of that. Okay, so first the key does work. Again, you got that third brake light too right underneath that rear hatch spoiler, and then it is like the strut rod assisted here on the hatch, so it's not going to fly open on you, but you do have to use a little bit of muscle to get it down though and get it latched there. As far as the actual cargo area back here, it is in really good shape. Of course, you got your plastic panels that extend back here from the interior of the car. You do have this little storage area over here that is, you know, you can use your key on that to lock and unlock it. You do have the covers for the T-tops also, so whenever you go ahead and take those out to cruise around with the roof open, you've got the covers there that they store inside. Of course, as you can see, it's got the full set of floor mats there. And again, you know, they're showing a little bit of their age, but you know, that's what would have come with the car, and they are here. So they are available for the vehicle. As far as the carpeting inside the cargo area though, for the most part, all in really good shape. There's no rips or tears that I can see, but you can just see a few little marks from when they did have something in there. But again, everything all looks really good from inside the trunk area here. All your seals, all your weather stripping, all look good all the way up around that rear hatch section. So again, you're not going to have any leaks inside. It's going to seal up nicely, and all your water channels here all the way around are all good and solid, and that's going to direct that water right out the back of the car. So let's go ahead and close this up. Okay, and we'll continue around the passenger side. Now again, both sides of the car super straight all the way around. Again, the paint, like I mentioned there earlier, all in really good condition on this car here. Same thing over on this side. Again, wheels and tires are all in great shape. Doors, as far as your gaps and so forth, don't really want to spend a whole lot of time there. It's just panel fitment is very good on the car here. So again, elevations, gaps, all very nice on the car. That same lower body cladding here along the bottom, all attached, good and secure. Same thing here with our passenger side glass as well. No chips, cracks, or scratches here. Same thing with the mirror also. That glass in the mirror is in great shape, as well as those T-tops also. Very nice condition there. Let's go ahead and open up now from the passenger side. That way you just get a good all-around look of the interior. Again, as I mentioned, no rips or tears in any of the seats there. They look to be in really good shape. Your center console, the lid on it, there's no rips or tears there, no wear marks there. The center console itself is in great shape, as well as the dashes, door panels, carpeting, etc. Just everything's in really good shape here. Again, same thing with your seals and weather strips over here. All intact, all solid all the way around. There's no rips or chunks out of anything. Even your door weather stripping here, good and solid with no rips or tears. And again, everything's nice and soft too. That's going to help that seal up. You even got your rubber bump stops over on this door as well. So that's pretty much it for the interior. And then we'll continue to the front. Again, you do have a power antenna here on the front fender on top, matching emblems there. And again, we'll come around to the front of the Trans Am GTA here. So again, up here on the very front peak here of your nose, you do have the GTA, the Trans Am badging up there, the emblem for it there. As far as the overall condition of the front end, again, with the urethane style bumpers, and again, with as old as what the car is, it really is in pretty good shape here. The paint and all, again, there's no real marks on it other than like I see over here on the one corner and maybe down where you have your like your marker light down there. Just a few little like checks or cracks that you would see in the paint just from the flex of that urethane bumper. They all had it, and this one has very little of it. So again, it is in really good shape here. As far as the hood goes, of course, like I said, this is going to be your factory hood. You've got all the air vents in here, both at the front and back here along the sides of the rear of the hood. As far as your glass and your windshield, again, that all looks really good. No scratches, no cracks anywhere in that glass. You can tell everything is sealed up very nicely here with the way the windshield was installed. You do, in fact, have your windshield wipers here. The arms themselves, as well as the blades, those are in great shape too. Of course, with the Trans Am, you do have those flip up headlights too, and they are functional. So again, obviously we've got the car off right now and no lights on, so they're down like they should be. But yeah, everything works there. Everything looks good. So what we'll do now is I'm going to reach inside here, pop the hood, and then we'll go ahead and talk more about the motor, transmission, rear end. All right, so of course, as we just did there, we pulled the hood pop, hood release from inside the car, and it did go ahead and release that hood. Now you do have the secondary latch here. Just grab that, lift up on it, and your hood comes right up. Now again, you do have your hinges. You've got those torsion or strut rods here to help assist that hood in going up nice and easy and keeping it up. The underside of the hood here, done in that same color as the exterior of the car, and it all looks good. Of course, all of your bracing is all intact underneath here. It is a steel hood. You've got your decals just as you would from the factory here. So So again, all of that stuff is, you know, has not been modified or messed with whatsoever. As I mentioned, this is a period correct 305. Of course, as you can tell, it is the tuned port fuel injected motor there. So again, nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing too fancy here. This is pretty much the way it would have come from the factory. So everything you're looking at here really hasn't been touched or dressed up with any kind of like chrome add-ons or anything like that. They just kept it pretty much all factory stock underneath the hood here. As I mentioned, it is the factory air conditioning, and everything is all hooked up. And it's charged and functioning. All your hoses are nice and dry underneath here. Factory style radiator. All the radiator hoses have been checked over. Those are dry, free from any leaks anywhere there. As far as, like I said, power steering, power brakes on the car, disc brakes up front, drums on the rear, and again, that's just all factory stuff too. So when it comes time to go ahead and replace those items, you'll be able to pick those up at your local auto parts store. So again, there's really not much to go over here, being that it is just all factory OE stock appearing. So behind the motor here, we've got the 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission. And then the rear end, as I mentioned in the very get-go of the video there, it is a 10-bolt GM rear end, 276 gear, and it's a POSI unit in the differential there. Suspension is all pretty much factory stock on the car. It does have the big sway bars on it on the front. I believe it was 1.5 inches up front, 1 inch on the back. So that's going to make this car a very tight, good handling car here. So with that said, we're pretty much done with our walk around of the car. I always tell you, you know, depending on where you're viewing this video from, always check out our company website, hanksters.com, and then we'll be able to see your retail pricing for the car on there and what all that includes, which is going to be, it's going to include enclosed shipping anywhere within the 48 contiguous states, and it will include our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. If you're interested in you know, finding out how exactly that works, it's a pretty simple process, but yeah, just reach out to us by phone, email, or text. We'll be glad to go over the whole process with you and fill you in on how exactly that works. If there's any parts or accessories that you might be interested in putting on the car, or something that you would like to change to make it a little bit more yours or more the style you're looking for, again, hit us up by phone, email, or text. Let us know what it might be there that you're looking to have added, and we'll be glad to get you pricing on parts and labor to have that done. With that said, it is now time. We'll go ahead and shut this all up here, get it on our lift, and we'll go underneath so we can show you the condition of the underside, which, by the way, very nice underneath on this car here. So we'll go over that next with you, and we'll finally fire that motor up too, let you hear exactly what it sounds like. Hey folks, here we are once again back in our shop here. We've got our 1987 Pontiac Trans Am GTA here up on the lift. So we're going to go through this just as we do all the time here. I'm going to go through all the underside here with you, kind of point out what we have exactly as far as components. A lot of the stuff might be repeat from our walk around video, but again, this is mainly for the condition purpose of the underneath of the car here. So starting up front, of course, with the Trans Am here, you did have that front air dam, and you do still have that here, all good and solid. There's no cracks anywhere in it. All of the OE hardware here holding it together, and again, it is good and secure all the way across the front end of the car here. As far as the radiator goes, again, we're looking at the underside here to check for leaks or drips, and again, the underside of that radiator is nice and dry, free from any leaks or drips. It's the OE style radiator for it, and it does in fact have the dual electric puller fans on it to help keep everything nice and cool for you. Back behind that, of course, now we'll start getting into suspension and steering and so forth. This car has a heavy-duty 1.5" front sway bar here. Sway bar bushings at the frame, as well as your sway bar end links here, are all in good shape. Those bushings there's no cracks, no splits anywhere, and with that big of a sway bar, that's going to make sure that this front end stays nice and tight when cornering. As far as the rest of the suspension, you're going to have just your typical OE style control arms, uppers and lowers. Ball joints on both of those are in great condition here. Rubber dust boot covers on those ball joints, all intact, so that keeps that grease in and any dirt and debris out, helping them last a lot longer. Steering, it is a power steering car and power brakes. So starting with the steering, we always check out the drag link, the pitman arm, obviously our tie rods and our tie rod ends. And again, all of that stuff all checks out very good. And again, you can tell everything's been greased and maintained underneath here. And then the brakes, like I said, power brakes, it's a disc up front, drums out on the rear, and then it's just your standard GM components here. So anytime you need to replace brake pads or rotors, you'll be able to go to just any auto parts store and pick these items up, no problems at all. As far as the cross member here, that's nice and straight, doesn't look like it's been dinged on anything. And then since we're here, we'll go ahead and start with the engine, transmission, and of course the exhaust system on the car. So the engine, again, we're looking at the underside here, the 305 motor for the Trans Am, and again, that pan is nice and dry all the way around. Same thing here at the drain plug, it is dry, and again at the back of the pan also, where you might see a little seepage from like a rear main seal, nice and dry on this particular car here. Of course, right behind it is our transmission. This is that 700 R4 automatic overdrive transmission. It does in fact have the torque converter and flywheel cover on it here to help protect all of that from anything coming in and possibly chipping a tooth somewhere on that assembly. Far as the rest of the lines here, going back to the transmission, those are all nice and dry, free from any leaks. And then of course we always go to the back of the transmission. We check the output shaft seal, that's where your slip yoke slides into it. That is dry. We also look at the transmission cross member here, which is nice and straight, and the actual tail shaft mount, which is in good condition too. Exhaust work, again, you're coming off of the stock cast exhaust manifolds, a 2.5" exhaust on this car, as you can see here, going into the factory or OE catalytic converter here, and then exiting out of that with, again, 2.5" exhaust. And then whenever we get to the back, you'll see it does have, it is a, I believe, Magnaflow. Yes, a Magnaflow transverse mounted muffler, just a single muffler with the dual outs, and I believe it's 3.5" chrome tips on the back of the car there for a really nice look. Now, as far as wheels and tires, of course, the Trans Am GTA had those special wheels. These are the gold alloy basket weave style wheel here, 16" with the polished lips on them. And again, you've seen that from our walk around video. Very nice looking wheels here. And then as far as the tires go here, they do have Falcon ZX tires on all four corners. The size on those is 245/50 16s. Again, these are 16" wheels, all four corners. As we slide back a little further now, as far as the frame sections here, those are all in good shape, good and straight, nice and square underneath here. The floors are in great condition on this car. No patching, no holes at all. This is all the OE or factory floors in the car. As you can see, all of the stamping lines and so forth are all here. You can see all of your brake lines and fuel lines are all routed right up through here, the center of the, or kind of your tunnel on the underside here, and then all the way back. Brake lines, of course, to your rear brakes, and then the fuel line, of course, going back to the fuel tank. You also have the heat shields also for that catalytic converter there, so you don't get that heat up through the floors of the car. As far as drive shaft and so forth, our drive shaft here is going to be balanced, so you've got the weights on it here. That's going to help eliminate any kind of driveline vibrations that you might have. This big long thing here, that's a torque arm here going to the rear differential. So again, what that's used to help control is whenever you get on the gas and that rear end wants to spin up there, this is going to help control that so you don't get that hop and so forth at the back wheels. So that's all intact. As far as the rear end itself, the differential, this is a GM 10-volt rear. It's a 276 gear. It is a POSI unit. The shocks on the back are in good shape here. We do in fact have the 1-inch sway bar on the back of the car here too. And the same thing here, your bushings here where it mounts to the rear end or axle housing, as well as your sway bar end links. Those are all in great shape. Brake lines as they come back for the emergency brake are all in good shape here, coming back to your rear drum brakes. Again, those same 16-inch wheels and the same tires on all 4 corners. Makes it really nice, makes it easy too whenever it comes time to rotate those tires and so forth. You just pull them off, move them, no problem. As I mentioned again, I already went over the gears and so forth for the rear. That exhaust system, like I said, a very nice looking Magnaflow muffler here. It's actually a polished Magnaflow here. Looks really nice here with your dual tailpipes here coming off of it. And then, like I said, I believe these are 3.5-inch chrome tips here. Very nice look for underneath this car. Fuel tank itself is in good shape from what we can see underneath here, as well as the trunk floors also. And then of course with the Trans Am GTA, you are going to in fact have that electric fuel pump, and it's going to be located inside the tank on this particular car. All of which though, all the way around, all nice and dry, all nice and straight underneath here. And again, all good and solid all the way from front to back on this particular car. Now while we're under here, before we go ahead and lower this on our lift, I also want to take this time just to let you folks know out there that we are in fact an ATC authorized trailer dealer. So any of you car guys out there that are looking for an enclosed car trailer or race car trailer per se, we have them in stock, multiple models. You can actually go to our car website, click on the drop down for our inventory, and you'll be able to see trailer inventory. Click there, it'll take you to our trailer website. If you want to, you can also go there directly. It's just Hanksters Haulers, that's HAULERS.com, and you'll be able to go onto our website, see every trailer that we have here in stock, all the options, pricing, and so forth. And for those of you car guys out there that want to check one of those out, if you're interested, we'll definitely offer you a little bit special pricing there if you're one of our car customers. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get this car down off the lift next, and we'll go underneath the hood, fire that motor up. That way you get to hear exactly what that engine sounds like with this exhaust.